Red Voyage News, splashing the check-in. Thank you for tuning in. And DaBaby, the rapper DaBaby, is back in the news once again for committing another act of violence. DaBaby accused of punching rental homeowner's tooth out. So he's being sued by a guy by the name of Gary Pager, who says the rapper punched his tooth out, filed a lawsuit against the rapper on Monday, accusing DaBaby of assaulting him at his home in Runyon Canyon, California. He said DaBaby punched him in the mouth after he attempted to stop DaBaby's music video shoot at his rental property because it was in violation of the leasing terms. Pager claimed DaBaby had 40 people at the residence after initially agreeing to only have 12 people present due to COVID regulations. In addition, the legal filing allegedly stated that commercial use of the property was prohibited. According to the lawsuit, Pager was knocked to the ground by an unknown person when he tried shutting down the music video. Afterward, DaBaby exited his vehicle and chased Pager back into the home and advised him against calling the police before assaulting him. The lawsuit also accuses DaBaby of fleeing the scene with Pager's phone and valuable kitchenware. Sounds like a knife. Once the police were notified, Pager added that he was spat on and taunted during the December assault. Mr. Pager also claimed that the rapper didn't pay the full leasing price, left the house with thousands of dollars in damages, and destroyed a security camera that was installed in the home. So DaBaby at this point in time, he's not going to get off with a slap on the wrist like before. He's been in the news over the years countless times for acts of violence. He was already on DJ Vlad once talking about how people broke in your home and you shot at them. You don't know if you hit anybody or whatever. That's understandable. If you kill somebody in a Walmart grocery store, well, supermarket, sorry. That was in self-defense. You got off on that. Cool. But then you're beating up promoters. You punched a woman in her face. You've also punched some dude in the club, knocked him out. That's on YouTube. Beat up somebody at a hotel. I mean, it's every couple of months you hear debate. And then you got into that fight in North Carolina with another rapper. What was his name? His name was Cam Cohart. And then a year later, he said, all right, it's been a year. Excuse me. It's been a year. The deal is up. We planned everything. We staged everything. And they paid me this much money. And they said, you can't say anything for at least a year, which I thought that was real corny. All right. I thought that was real corny, but still, it's something that's in the news about this rapper, this guy right here, which has something to do with assaulting people. Okay. Now, this is Gary Pager right here. This is him. Okay. This is the guy he rented. That's an old photo. This is him right here. This is the guy he rented a home from. And I believe he's a real estate investor. So when you're renting out your property to somebody, you know, for you not to lose your license, it's like you still got to follow the rules and regulations. Yeah, you're a rapper. All right, I'll give you a chance, but I'm only renting out my property for you to just sleep in there at night. You can have at least 12 people over, whatever. If you damage anything, you got to pay for it. You know, I know your lifestyle, but if you're going to use it as a music video, you know, if you're going to use my home for a music video, no, use somebody else's home. Sounds like rappers, what they're doing is they're renting out properties and they're not telling the homeowners what they're actually using it for. And then they just find out later down the line if they so happen to see the music video, the actual music video. You know, this man right here, his spidey senses went off. He's like, hey, you know, him and his team of Negroes, I think something is telling me to just go up there and see what's going on. And damn it, was he right? You got 40 people doing the most. You got hoes running around half naked everywhere. You got a bunch of Negroes who are tatted up from head to flow. You know, nah, y'all got to go. All right. Party's over. Music video's over. No, this is not what my home is for. And in DaBaby's defense, was hands and feet put on Mr. Gary Pager because he said the N-word? Did Mr. Pager said a racial slur towards DaBaby and his friends, DaBaby and his associates? What did this man say to warrant an ass whooping and his tooth getting knocked out? Okay. Did he said something that started with an N and ended with a hard R? You know, did he say it from the diaphragm? You know, it didn't just roll off his tongue. He murmured it and it rolled off his tongue, you know, with a low tone. Did he say it from the diaphragm, that hard R, to where everybody in the house could hear him? Or did he not spew any racial epithets? And I mean, he was in the right. It's my home. This is what I signed. This is the agreement I signed with you. You're not abiding by your end of the bargain. Party's over. Get out my house. I mean, he had every right to say that. I mean, this isn't looking too well. I mean, a judge is going to have to sit him down. Now, I don't wish jail upon anybody, so let me rephrase that. A judge might sit him down. You know, on paper, it's looking bad for him. And at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, if we're seeing incident after incident after incident and nothing's being done about it, nobody's stopping you, you're just going to become more emboldened to do it again. And you just got pulled over, on Melrose? Or you got pulled over in Hollywood, you know, what was it, like a couple weeks ago? And they searched the vehicle. He had a gun in the vehicle, which I'm not against that. You know, if somebody had a permit to where they could legally carry a firearm, that's fine. And they pulled him over for no reason. All right. But when a judge has this case in front of him and then it slides right in front of him, it's kind of like, okay, I've seen your name in the news like every 3 to 4 months on some bullshit. You know, at some point in time, somebody's going to say, okay, you were the victim in so many of these cases, but what are you doing in order to prevent yourself from becoming the victim yet again? It's kind of like when you get into a car accident, right? You get into a car accident once, it's not your fault. Car insurance is like, hey, no problem. We'll take care of it. You'll be compensated. Second time again, hey, no problem. You'll be compensated. Third time, it's kind of like, damn, it's the third time this year. And all right, you're not at fault, but it's like, all right, you know, you'll be compensated, but you know, they're scratching their heads at this point. The fourth time in a year, they're like, hey, nah, you're a liability on the roads. They don't give a damn if you weren't at fault for it. They're like, hey, what's going on with you? How are you driving? Same thing with DaBaby. It's like, all right, so you just the victim all the time? Like, what's going on here? And it sounds like he's not the victim in this case. Like, they was, you know, those that want him gone or whatever, they was waiting for a moment like this to happen. All right. So what do you think about this? Like, subscribe, comment, share this video. I'm over and I'm out. Peace.